Minuteman was a three-stage, solid-propellant intercontinental missile. It began to enter SAC in 1962. By 1967, it had reached a force level of 1,000. Missile silos were built in remote locations. They offered instantaneous response to an enemy's first strike. Missiles also offered new challenges to Air Force personnel. These range from technical expertise to the psychological ability to adapt to life in a silo. Missile crews on alert had to be prepared to survive below ground level. The demands placed on families through stress and separation were equal to those long experienced by bomber crews on alert. Hundreds of officers used slack time to take correspondence courses. Cards were a last resort. Missile crews took pride in their work. They knew it was critically essential. Practice alerts happened with nerve-jarring frequency. The Air Force realized the need to maintain performance levels and morale in this difficult environment. Incentives were offered. Competitions, recognition, and awards gradually built a spirit among the missile force to equal that of bomber crews. The latest and most accurate American ICBM is the Peacekeeper. Taken together, the ICBMs, the air-launched cruise missiles, and the traditional bombers make up what the Air Force calls a triad for deterrence. Establishment of this triad was expensive and time-consuming, but ultimately successful. It created the enormous pool of physical and intellectual capabilities that brought about the Air Force domination of space through satellite-based military systems. The intercontinental ballistic missile did not replace the man bomber, but it did create a world of new requirements in research, recruitment, training, and career development.
Liquid rocket fuel proved dangerous to handle, and the Air Force pressed forward on safer solid fuel rocket engines. The new Minuteman strategic missile used solid propellant and was much more compact than the Titan. It was originally envisaged as a mobile missile, but those plans were abandoned to achieve operational status more quickly, which it did in 1963. The Minuteman formed the backbone of the U.S. Air Force's strategic deterrent force for over 2 decades. Deterrence is the essence of the strategic nuclear force. This strategy means deterring the enemy armed forces from attacking with their strategic weapons, knowing full well that they would be subjected to a devastating retaliatory blow. The Minuteman remains a critical element of the American deterrent force, with some 950 missiles still in service.
The Minuteman III missile was then deployed in the 1973 to 75 time frame. It is the newest Minuteman missile. It uses the multiple independently retargeted reentry vehicle, or MIRV, and that missile gives us a great deal of capability that the previous generations of Minuteman did not.
What made the Minuteman missile survivable was the way it was based. Dispersed launch silos and launch control centers were dug into the ground and then hardened to protect the missiles from nuclear attack. Because of this basing method, the Minuteman was nicknamed America's ace in the hole. The Peacekeeper, originally codenamed MX, is the largest and newest ICBM to enter U.S. Air Force service. It incorporates the latest technology